What's up guys, Toya here, and welcome to Katastic. Welcoming a new family member into your home can be an exciting time. Making sure that they have everything that they need in their room, a place to sleep, their food, their favorite toys, all of that. You want to make sure everything is perfect, right? But wait a minute now. We ain't talking about no babies. We're not talking about babies. We're talking about fur babies. What do you need to do when introducing your cat into your home? Let's talk about it. On the first day, you should be making sure that your cat has every single thing that it needs. Day one, okay? Day one. So you want to go ahead and have a room that's away from the rest of the house. So like a bedroom, a bathroom, whatever your preference is. Have a room where you have all of your cat's items. So the litter box, their food, their water, a bed for them to sleep in, their toys, everything. You want to get a comfortable place for your cat so they can just, do their thing. You don't want to overwhelm them and just throw them out and just have the whole house for them to explore. That's too overwhelming for them. So start small, just get one isolated room just for them with all their items and let them chill out. If you have any other pets, make sure you keep them away from that room for the time being until we're ready to introduce them to the newest member of the family. If you have kids, especially young ones that might be a little bit unpredictable with how they react with the animal, you want to probably keep them away for the time being just until the cat can kind of get a little bit acquainted with everything, and then you can bring your kids in and make sure you're there being gentle with the cat. Obviously, you don't want them pulling on them, picking them up if the cat doesn't want to get picked up. You want to supervise your kids. You don't want to overwhelm the cat. That's the main thing, not overwhelming your cat. So once your new cat has gotten adjusted to that room that they've been in, after about a couple of days or so, then it's time to do the slow introduction to your other animals. So your resident cat has probably been getting a whiff of that new cat through the door, and they will come over and inspect and probably try to claw at the door, scratch at it, whatever. They're curious, okay? They're curious, they want to see what's behind that door. So this is a time to kind of do some positive reinforcement. So what you can do is take their food on either side of the door. So your new cat get the food next to the door on the inside where they are, and your resident cat on the outside of the door, go ahead and put the food by the door on that side. And pretty much what you're doing is kind of like I said, that positive reinforcement. They smell each other, they can smell each other through the door clearly, and they're doing something that they would normally do, getting fed. So they're kind of putting two and two together, like, okay, I'm smelling this new thing. I don't know what he is, but okay, if I get fed around this new smell or new thing, whatever is over here, everything is cool. It's the first step to them kind of getting used to each other's scents, and just by doing something that most cats are probably going to enjoy doing, eating, it's a win-win. After they've kind of gotten used to each other's scents that way, you can start opening up the door, not all the way, but just a slight crack so they can see each other. They can see, okay, you're the one that smells like that. I know who you are. If you do see some aggression, you can go ahead and close that door back up. Remember, we're taking this slow. It may get a little frustrating because it seems like, oh man, every single time I try to advance to another step, we're taking another step back. But trust me when I say this. If you do it right, it's gonna work out in the long run, okay? You do not want to force any type of interaction because that will destroy any type of possible relationship with your cats. So here, if they're curious enough, they might come up to each other, sniff each other. One might hiss at the other. It just really depends on the cat because every cat is going to react to a new cat in the home differently. They are territorial. Some of them might be a little bit more aggressive than others, but like I said, you want to monitor this interaction, making sure everything is going well. So once it seems like they've gotten used to each other through the door, then you could think about opening up the door all the way, but still keeping them separated. You could probably get like a gate or something, or maybe like a mesh that just still keeps them separated so they can't physically touch, but it allows them to see each other. Now, if it seems like they've gotten more and more accustomed to each other, it's time for the next step, and that's exploring. So in this step, you want to swap your cats. So take the new cat, put them in the rest of the house where your other resident cat was, and you want to take your resident cat and put them in the room where your new cat was. So that gives them an opportunity to kind of get more accustomed to each other's scent, and it gives your new cat the opportunity to explore more. So now if you have like a huge house, you might want to take this a step at a time, introducing sections of your house In my case, when we got Milo and we had Ringo at the time, we just had a 2-bedroom apartment. So we have him in one of the bedrooms, and I mean, there really wasn't much left to explore. Just the bedroom, the other bedroom, the living room, dining room, they were together, and then the kitchen and the bathroom, of course. So there wasn't really much to explore, so we just allowed him to kind of go do whatever he pleased, and everything was cool. But like I said, if you have a bigger house, if you have like maybe 2 or 3 levels, you might want to be, you know, take it a little easy on the introduction. Again, you still don't want to overwhelm this cat, okay? You don't want to overwhelm your new cat, so take the necessary steps that you need to, depending on the layout of your house. And again, you are keeping them separate at this time. So your resident cat, your existing resident cat, is in the spare room where, you know, the new cat was. He's getting a better whiff of him. He's probably going to be preoccupied just sniffing around the whole room. Even though he knows what this room is, there's a new scent here. So this gives him an opportunity to, you know, get that scent, get more accustomed to that scent. And he's like, okay, I think he might be cool. He might be cool. And then, like I said, your new cat, he's just taking this opportunity to explore the environment unbothered by, you know, your resident cat. And of course, you still want to supervise and make sure he doesn't get into anything that he doesn't need to be getting into. And that's it. Finally, it's time for the face-to-face meetup. Now here you have to watch every single move from both of these cats. This is going to be the time where there might actually be some aggression where there wasn't aggression before. It just really depends on how they take to each other. Even if it seems like they're starting to get along, you still want to keep an eye on them for a little bit before you finally leave them to be by themselves. If there's any type of aggression shown, you probably want to just take a step back and let them kind of get reacquainted with each other before you try the face-to-face interaction again. Sometimes your resident cat might want to assert dominance on the new cat, especially if it's a kitten. A kitten is, you know, they're kind of all over the place. They kind of do what they want. And to be quite honest, sometimes they may be in the best interest of your resident cat to kind of put him in his place and show like, hey, you don't do that. So as long as it's not like aggression where, you know, he's getting hurt or anything like that, your resident cat might swat at him a little bit if he gets too close. That's more or less like setting boundaries, like, hey, back up. You don't need to be up in my face like that. We cool from a distance, right? We cool like this, 6 feet apart, but you don't need to be all up in my face, okay? You're just watching the body language and things like that. And it's a difference between like a certain dominance and being aggressive, like I'm gonna attack you because I feel that you're a threat. So you can pretty much see the signs of the body language. And eventually, if everything goes well, you followed all these steps, everything should be cool. The cat should be getting along fairly well. You might have a few hiccups here and there. Like I said, you still want to monitor your cats just in case, because, you know, maybe especially if you have a kitten, they might do something that ticks off your resident cat and, you know, fur starts flying. You never know. But you still want to, you know, be mindful of your 2 cats. You still might want to give it a few days before you leave them unsupervised. So, you know, if you decide to leave the house to go grocery shopping, run some errands or whatever, you might want to separate them at least until maybe a couple of days where you feel that they are comfortable with each other, that there won't be any type of fights or aggression, anything like that. So take those precautions. If you need to leave the house and they've only been face-to-face for maybe like a day, you want to maybe separate them just to make sure everything's cool while you're gone, and eventually you can just let them go as they please. Now some of you guys might be thinking, well, what about dogs or other pets? What if I have like birds or rabbits, ferrets, things like that? Well, we can talk briefly about that, okay? Dogs are gonna be a lot more energetic than a cat, so you're gonna have to hold that dog back because he might want to try to chase the cat, play, and even though it's not like aggression, that cat sees this dog, depending if you have a big dog, little dog, whatever, they're gonna be like, oh my god, this thing is coming at me. They gonna be scared. They don't know that he's trying to play, so you want to definitely supervise your dog. Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of other problems if you don't control your dog, so make sure your dog is calm. Reward your dog when he's being calm around the cat. And sometimes, honestly, the cat may not really be too fond of the dog. The dog might get up on the cat trying to play, and the cat might swipe him in the face. It's not even a thing of aggression of him hating the dog or anything like that. It's just like, yo, you like I mentioned before, you all up in my face. I don't like that. I don't want you to be all up in my face, so I'm gonna smack you. You know, it just depends on your cat. Now, if you have a bird or ferret, rabbit, whatever, you might have another type of pet, fish, whatever, okay? Some of those other animals that you have might be considered prey for your cat, and they might get along initially. You got a bird that's, you know, chilling on the cat's head or whatever, and one day he might get that instinct of like, you know, this bird looking mighty tasty. And not saying that that's always gonna happen, but I'm just saying you might wanna not get a cat if you already have like a bird or a rabbit, you know, things like that. Those animals are considered prey for a cat. It's predator and prey. Like I said, it may work, but you might want to just be a little wary. You don't want to bring a cat into that situation and then expect everything to be fine and dandy, because just his face, that's his natural instincts. You can't do anything about that. Now, some of you guys might be also wondering, how long is this whole process gonna take when I gotta introduce my cat to my house or my other pets or whatever? Honestly, it can vary. When I introduced Milo to Ringo, it took just a week. It didn't really take a long time at all. And the other thing that helps, which I forgot to mention, is if your cat is already spayed or neutered, that makes things 10 times more easier, because without those hormones raging, they're not going to be as territorial as they would as if they weren't spayed or neutered. So like I said, it might take a couple of days to a week. It may take up to a month. It really just depends on the personality of the cats. The other thing that you might have to realize is that some cats may only end up tolerating each other. They're not going to become best of buds. They're not going to be cuddled up, grooming each other, playing with each other. You know, they're not going to be doing. Some of them just tolerate each other. They're like, oh, you live here, you're like my roommate, and that's it. That's just how some relationships are. And the other thing is, some cats may not want another companion cat. Some cats might just want to be by themselves. So if you bring another cat into the home thinking like, oh, you know, maybe I can get him a friend, and he's just looking like, I don't know what you brought this thing up in here for. I don't want this. I don't, and it may not ever work out. So it may be in the best interest where sometimes you might not be able to get another cat for your home. So if you see that they're constantly, you know, at each other and they're not even tolerating each other, you might have to consider just rehoming that cat. Some cats don't want another companion. So just something to think about if you are thinking about getting another cat. That is a possibility. Your cat may not accept a new cat in the home. So don't try to force anything. Forcing, you know, cats to interact, that's like the worst thing that you can do, because you're just pretty much setting them up for failure. So don't try to force it. If it's not working out, then hey, you gotta look for other options. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope this was helpful to someone. I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, and as always, make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you are new. I'm out of here guys, and I will catch you on the next